Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Well, it's hot, muggy, and watching for some chances of storms yet for the next couple of days. Charleston, among others, to the west there. That's a heat advisory. We'll have highs near 90 or so with dew points in the ranks of the 70s for a number of us. So a heat risk, generally moderate to some locally major heat risk. So that's if you're sensitive to heat, or all folks, take necessary precautions out there, as we'll get some hot conditions out there for a number of us today. High of 87, low at 70 yesterday in Charleston with some heavy rain, 0.85 inches there at the gauge officially. Some areas 1 to just under 2 inches of rain with those flash flood warnings yesterday. We have a marginal to slight risk for isolated to scattered, mainly damaging winds for the storm threat today. Some hail can't be ruled out. Similar tomorrow, but with the weather pattern tomorrow, this is when our sharp cold front moves in from the northwest still on Friday. Again, the available moisture is up to heavy, so be mindful of heavy to locally excessive rain potential with some of these passing storms. Most of us a marginal risk for localized flash flood potential this time. So keep your eyes on the radar today and tonight. There will be that likely chance of passing showers, storms, risk of severe and some localized flooding. Fly Super forecast, it starts at home. A number of these cities have issues with heat and storms as well. Areas near Chicago, some increasing severe weather risks middle of the week there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, warm, mid to upper 80s, some low to mid 90s to the east here, so hot, stormy later. Again, warmer than average temps from east to west and to the south with high near 92. In Charleston, 91 in Huntington with your heat advisory today. Likely rain and storms tomorrow, watching that risk of severe. Dry, warm Saturday. Showers and storms likely again on Sunday. At what timing multiple cold fronts next week, so that'll dig away or chip away at the heat, so more 70s next week with still some chances of passing showers and storms.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right. Hello, West Virginia. We are back for more. Was there ever a doubt? In the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Thursday, June 11th, 2026. Metro News Hotline is brought to you by and from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. So how you doing in there today, Coop? Feeling good? Feeling ready for another rock and roll 3-hour show today on the old Metro News Radio Network? How you feeling? How's the kids? How's the fam?
I think you got the wrong number,
What? What? Where's Coop?
I don't know.
Well,
I think he's going to Omaha for the big game.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
Who didn't go to the Omaha for the big sporty sport thing?
You know, my sister lived in Omaha for a while.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Well, this is a good time to talk about it. Did you ever visit her out there?
Nope.
Was it something she said?
No.
Was it anything that had to do with Omaha? You didn't like it out there? Or
no, I just
never. A little
never.
Too hot, a little too humid.
I just never got around to it.
Ah, how long did she live out there?
I want to say a year or so.
Wow, where's she live now?
She's moving to Galveston, Texas.
Galveston, Texas.
Moving back to Galveston. She married a nurse, and he's been bouncing around a few different nurse programs around the country.
Uh-huh.
So they finally landed back in Galveston.
Have you ever, there's a song about that. Have you ever been to Galveston?
Yes. I
You
went
have?
to the Rainforest Cafe there.
Really?
Their most notable landmark.
That's a really hot spot, man, Galveston, Texas.
Yeah.
Now, this would be the point of this show where I would say, "Hey, I've been to Galveston," and then my wife will send me a text and say, "Shut up! Millions of people have been to Galveston, and lots of people live in Galveston, where it's right there on the Gulf, and huge oil refineries there."
She's right.
We have so much stuff to talk about. You know what, Coop? This is a personal day for him, so I'm not going to get into it.
All right.
All I'm going to say is he was on the clock as long as the authorities were in pursuit. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. But have you seen the lineup for this show today?
No.
Well, as I've said many times, you could not get more stuff into this bad boy with a crowbar. I mean, we are absolutely packed. It's absolutely hot too. Have you been outside today?
Yes.
Okay. So was it warm when you were outside?
It was very warm. Yes. It's very warm and muggy.
I was out in the backyard for a little while, and when I stepped out, I was like, "Hey, you know what? Oh, Alexa." Sorry, I had to say that to those devices out there that just got triggered. Heat advisory in the old Kanawha Valley for all through the afternoon. I'm thinking, well, it's really a scorcher out there. But when I stepped out there, a little overcast, nice breeze, temperature seemed okay, but then, man, it really was, baked potato hot out there. So it's about 87 degrees. So wherever you're listening to the show today, just kick back. Let us drive for a while. As I said, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about.
Don't actually let us drive, because we can't be there.
Yeah. So we got all kinds of stuff going on today. Should I run down the sports stuff, or do you want to talk about something else, Ryan?
I got an update on the bricks and minifigs situation.
I want to hear about that. But let me just let our listeners know that I am aware of what has been going on with the sports. Okay. So let me just let's run some of this stuff down. State baseball tournament continues today. Class A semifinals. Gilmer County was a winner over Huntington St. Joe's, 8 for the final. So Huntington St. Joe's, I'll tell you what, number 1 seed, knocked out. So we'll see what happens there. And Sherman beat Pendleton County today, 3-0. Last Saturday, I was at the Chick-fil-A in South Charleston. I want to say I was in there maybe about 2:30, 2:45, and the Sherman baseball team was in there, and I'm thinking, oh, they're on their way back from a game. No, they were on their way to Huntington to play in a game. So they've advanced, and we've been kind of following Pendleton County because they were the only team in the state tournament this year that got into the tournament in Huntington without a winning record. So they came together late, and they made it all the way into the semifinals, so congratulations to them. We will go live to Omaha to hear what's up with WVU Baseball. Kevin Kinder's out there. He'll be in his regular spot today at 5:33. The press availability with the Mountaineers team has already occurred. It went for about 30 minutes. Not a lot of real big reveals in it, but we will hear from Steve Sabins, the coach, and some of the players as we move along this afternoon. WVU had their time on the field in Omaha before they got to the press availability. Pirates, unbelievable comeback last night. Probably, arguably the best win of the year. They beat Shohei Ohtani. We'll hear the highlights of that. Reds, heartbreaking loss last night against the Padres. Francisco Tatis had a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dirty Birds are playing today. They lost last night. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Knicks had the biggest comeback in playoff history in the finals. In fact, actually, we'll check some of the stats on that. Came back from 29 points last night to beat the Spurs. Stanley Cup Game 5 tonight. Series is tied at 1 apiece. World Cup is underway. The first game in the World Cup is now underway. We're 6+ minutes in. Mexico is taking on South Africa. Mexico is a heavy favorite to win this game. The United States plays Paraguay tomorrow night at SoFi Stadium in L.A. I think that's about it. So let's get into the video game stuff. The story that we've been following. What's up with that?
Well, it's not video games. It's Legos. So.
Oh, well, okay. That's right. It's a Lego story.
Yes.
So before we get a little deeper into this, take us up to what's the beef? What's the rub? What's the gist of the story first?
All right. Short, very, very short version is a guy, collector, and his son put their $200,000 worth of Lego Star Wars sets under consignment. It got stolen by the company that they gave it to, and it made the internet very mad. And YouTubers got involved, lawyers, Mormon police, Utah.
Mormon police.
Mormon police in Utah. And now here's an update. So this is gonna be a big reward for people who've been following. So Josh Johnson and Brandon Best, the current owners of the Salem, Oregon Bricks and Minifigs location, have been laid off by Bricks and Minifigs corporate. So they are most likely fall guys for the situation, you know.
Laid off or fired?
It doesn't really matter. They're no longer with the company. So they got separated, let's say. And like I said, the Bricks and Minifigs most likely wants them to take the brunt of the blame because, granted, they were the most rough about the situation.
Let me just stop you there, just to for people who are hearing this story. Many people in West Virginia, when you hear that phrase "laid off," there is an assumption that perhaps Mexico just scored 1-0. There is an assumption that you will be brought back to work. It's like, Ryan, you're fired. No, Ryan, you're laid off. I mean, you'd be back at the house drinking iced tea, thinking Coop's going to call me back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait for my phone. He's going to call me back. So technically this was a layoff, but we are supposed to think they were fired.
Maybe.
Right?
It depends on if Bricks and Minifigs has confidence that this situation will blow over, which it will not.
Okay. Okay.
Our second point is Reckless Ben, the YouTuber that basically exposed this whole situation, is no longer going to be making videos about it because he was served papers by Bricks and Minifigs to bring him into court. And since he's not allowed to talk about the case according to federal law, he is therefore not allowed to make videos about it. So he is taking a step back from this. He's still working on it. He's still fighting to get those Lego sets back, but he's not going to be making YouTube videos about it.
One of the things that was established in a previous report, this is technically not a video game report because this is a Lego story, so it's kind of like branching off from the video game reports.
Yes.
The approximate value of the Legos in question are like 200 large.
$200,000.
$200K. Okay.
Speaking of the Lego sets, another YouTuber by the name of CoffeeZilla is following a lead about where the Lego sets are. The big question, where are the Lego sets? Because nobody seems to know, or nobody wants the public to know. He's been investigating it, and in his most recent video, he's been following a lead to a U-Haul truck that was used the night that the Salem, Oregon location for Bricks and Minifigs was taken over by corporate management. So people are assuming, the U-Haul truck, that's where the Legos are. Maybe they could be there, but also it could have just been used to transport them. We don't have any concrete evidence, but, just let the YouTube investigators work,
So to go back, one YouTube channel has been served.
Yes.
And is now dropping this whole thing like a hot potato.
Yes, that would be Reckless Ben.
Would be Reckless Ben. The other YouTube channel that you referenced was Coffee what?
CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla. Why are they still able to operate?
Because Reckless Ben, true to his name, has been a bit reckless in his approach. He's done some legally dubious but not entirely illegal things to try and goad Bricks and Minifigs into going to court with him, which it seems has worked. He is going to court with Bricks and Minifigs, trying to get this whole situation in front of a judge, and any judge worth their salt would think, man, this situation is really stupid. Why don't you just return the Lego sets?
So to go back to the YouTube channel that is still covering this story, what?
CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla. So
he's
is he operating out of a van with a ghost IP or?
No, he is an independent investigator. He's done work with like cryptocurrency scams, NFTs, online gambling, stuff like that, pyramid schemes. He's he's done it all, and he's just putting his mind to this now. And he's unaffiliated with Reckless Ben, despite the fact that they're both YouTubers. They don't know each other. I'm not sure if they've contact. Actually, he has interviewed Reckless Ben in his most recent video, but other than that, they are not affiliated with each other. So he is at liberty to continue investigating this.
So where do you think we're going with this? Where do you think we're going?
I'm thinking that this situation is going to honestly, this situation could be stretched out for a very long time.
All right. Well, we've mentioned this Reckless Ben. This is like our third or fourth segment on this particular story about the stolen Legos. So the conversations we've had about this in terms of publicity on our show is probably worth, I don't know, $27-$28.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
He's got that going
So he
for
owes
him.
us money, is what you're saying.
Or we need another more interesting turn in this particular story. So that was technically not a video game report.
Not a video game
That was
report. There was
that
no
was
music.
a Lego update.
Yeah.
Well, we probably. What would happen? Coop's not here. If we played like the movie theme to the Lego movie, would we get in trouble?
Coop might not be here, but our lawyers still are. So
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Man, I had so much stuff I wanted to talk to you about. I've got two stories that are kind of related. One is about this woman in Hackensack, New Jersey, who fell down. Did you see this story?
No.
About how she fell down a garbage chute on the 14th floor of her apartment building and fell 10 floors down to the 4th floor and had to be extracted by the police department, by the fire department. Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine? You're in the garbage chute and you fall down, and that's got to smell great too. It's got to smell great. It's completely dark and you fall down 10 floors.
Was it like really quick, or
I'm sure it was.
or was it like
a little bumpy?
Protracted?
Yeah. And apparently, when she got to between the 3rd and the 4th floor, she hit the garbage.
Ooh.
So there you go. Now let's see. Oh, you mentioned the crypto. Man, we
Yes.
got a lot of finance stuff on the show today. We got a Money Minute segment with Matt Harris. Oh man, crypto's in kind of a free fall. You been watching this?
No.
So crypto's in a free fall, so we're sort of watching this. In fact, crypto has lost like 50% of its value since last October, and it's back to its lows of February. 60,000 per coin is a very psychological important level for crypto, so we're keeping our eyes on that. Amy Smith's on the show for the stock market, and we're going to be talking about SpaceX. SpaceX is coming public tomorrow. So there's a lot of chatter about that. Kathy Mattea is on the show today to talk about Mountain Stage. She'll be on for the 3rd consecutive week, which has got to be some kind of a record for a show like this. Okay? So she'll be on the show at 4:30. We're going to go to Huntington. We'll check out the state baseball tournament. That'll be at 4:30. I already talked about the WVU Baseball stuff. We'll go live to Omaha at 5:33, and we'll get into the press availability with Steve Sabins and some of the players. We'll be doing that as well as we move along in the game. Jeff.
Hey, Dave.
Jeff Jenkins, you probably didn't expect to see the World Cup on the big TV in here, did you?
No, it's okay.
This is game one.
Yeah.
Game one of the World Cup. So there's a couple of games today. Mexico is a pretty heavy favorite to win this game over South Africa, and the United States plays tomorrow night against Paraguay. But there's 2 games today, and there's 2 games tomorrow. The United States game is in L.A. A lot of people are fired up. There's been a lot of chatter about this, the prices, the parking, the hotels, a lot of comments from people around the world who are in the United States. What'd you say, Ryan? There's some social media chatter from Europeans who can't believe we eat as much as we do.
Yeah, they go to restaurants and they're like, man, all this American food is so great. No wonder they're all fat.
There's probably something to that. There's something. Let me do a quick reset on our question of the day, because it is sort of related to what is going on in the world of sports today. I mean, literally, you've got the World Cup, which is the arguably the biggest sporting event in the world, firing up today. It'll be in the United States all month. 29-point comeback by the Knicks last night, biggest in the history of the NBA Finals. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 5 tonight. To this point, arguably, it's been one of the most exciting ever. Pirates had arguably their best comeback win of the year yesterday when they beat Ohtani and the Dodgers. State baseball tournament and now moving into the semifinal round. WVU and the College World Series in Omaha. So the question of the day is this, and it's sponsored by Solango Law. What's the greatest sporting event you have ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just unmatched? What's the single greatest sporting event you've ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just completely off the charts? To respond, text those in 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X. Yeah, still there. Weekly, WEEKLEY. All right, Jeff, what do you got? What's going on in the news today?
Dave, yeah, so we obviously have content from Omaha. You can see that. Greg Carey just posted a story from the presser, the media availability this morning. That's at the website. Also, a couple other things. U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito held a media briefing earlier today. She talked more about the Surveillance Act and where that is. That's a big topic of discussion in Washington. Riley Moore was on WAJR's Talk of the Town today. You know, there was that report in Politico earlier this week that he may be under consideration for an appointment by the president to be the new U.S. Labor Secretary. Mm-hmm. Riley Moore did not deny that during the appearance earlier today on our Morgantown station. So we've got that story also. Preston Pierce, the man charged in connection with the 2022 death and disappearance of Gretchen Fleming down in Wood County, who was indicted and arrested recently in North Carolina, waived his extradition and appeared in a Wood County courtroom today on those charges, murder, kidnapping, pled not guilty. We've got a little story on that. And then a story out of Richwood. Richwood High's longtime band director. Hey, Dave, this Richwood High's band director, he's been teaching in Nicholas County, Greg James is his name, for 50 years. Graduated from Glenville State 1976, the spring of 76. Started teaching in Nicholas County that fall and has taught there ever since. Been the band director at Richwood since the early 1980s.
Nice.
And he died this week. And so we have a story about that. And they've had a great band for years. And get this, Dave, I was told today that he continued to drive from Glenville to Richwood daily.
What?
Lived in Glenville, taught in Richwood.
Wow.
I checked that out. That's 89 miles.
Oh, man.
And one way. And those aren't easy miles.
No.
I
wonder it must have been a family situation.
Yeah. But anyway, we pay respect to Greg James, and we have a story posted at the website.
Totally agree with that. Rest in peace. All right. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay.
Let's take a break. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program has been a huge success. High school juniors from all across the state have applied, and we're down to 15 finalists. Now, we need your help. Please go to WVMetroNews.com and vote for your favorite finalist. By casting your vote, you can help determine who will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. That includes room, board, tuition, and fees. Just log on to WVMetroNews.com, click the Vote Now button, and cast your vote. You have until midnight, June 14th, to help us change the life of a West Virginia student and their family forever. Cast your vote today by clicking the Vote Now button at WVMetroNews.com. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar is supported by Greer Industries, the West Virginia Hospital Association, ZMM Architects and Engineers, the West Virginia Farm Bureau, Friends of Coal, and of course, Metro News. Vote now at WVMetroNews.com and help us change the life of a West Virginia student forever.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? JW Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the high technology.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Well, it's hot, muggy, and watching for some chances of storms yet for the next couple of days. Charleston, among others, to the west there. That's a heat advisory. We'll have highs near 90 or so with dew points in the ranks of the 70s for a number of us. So a heat risk, generally moderate to some locally major heat risk. So that's if you're sensitive to heat, or all folks, take necessary precautions out there, as we'll get some hot conditions out there for a number of us today. High of 87, low at 70 yesterday in Charleston with some heavy rain, 0.85 inches there at the gauge officially. Some areas 1 to just under 2 inches of rain with those flash flood warnings yesterday. We have a marginal to slight risk for isolated to scattered, mainly damaging winds for the storm threat today. Some hail can't be ruled out. Similar tomorrow, but with the weather pattern tomorrow, this is when our sharp cold front moves in from the northwest still on Friday. Again, the available moisture is up to heavy, so be mindful of heavy to locally excessive rain potential with some of these passing storms. Most of us a marginal risk for localized flash flood potential this time. So keep your eyes on the radar today and tonight. There will be that likely chance of passing showers, storms, risk of severe and some localized flooding. Fly Zebra forecast, it starts at home. A number of these cities have issues with heat and storms as well. Areas near Chicago, some increasing severe weather risks middle of the week there. From Panhandle to Panhandle, warm, mid to upper 80s, some low to mid 90s to the east here, so hot, stormy later. Again, warmer than average temps from east to west and to the south with high near 92. In Charleston, 91 in Huntington with your heat advisory today. Likely rain and storms tomorrow, watching that risk of severe. Dry, warm Saturday. Showers and storms likely again on Sunday. At what timing multiple cold fronts next week, so that'll dig away or chip away at the heat, so more 70s next week with still some chances of passing showers and storms.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have 2 vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
All right, welcome back. 26 minutes till the hour. Tell you what, let's go ahead and do a quick reset on our question of the day, and then we'll get into the sound of sports here in just a moment. So, question of the day sponsored by Salango Law. WVU's in the College World Series. The Pirates just stunned the Dodgers. The Knicks just had the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history last night. Stanley Cup Finals have been off the charts this year. Game 5 tonight. A World Cup is underway. So here's the question, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. What's the greatest sporting event you've ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just unmatched? What's the biggest and greatest sporting event you've ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just off the charts? To respond, text those in, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255 304. I'm on Exit Weekly, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y, one word, 3 E's, W-E-E-K-L-E-Y. Responses on X. Here's Toddster. He says, Dave, when Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson, watched it at a bar on pay-per-view. Yeah, that fight. So many unique things about that fight. First of all, it was a big fight that didn't take place in Vegas or New York. It was in Tokyo, and it was on HBO. Yeah, that was a really, really unexpected result. One of the most jarring upsets in boxing history. Buster Douglas has been here in the building, been here in our building, and I've interviewed him. He went through some health issues, but this was after that. And his trainer, John Johnson, is from Red Jacket. His trainer was a former assistant coach for Woody Hayes at Ohio State. Here's Jennings on X. Dave, I got to go with the Morgantown Super Regional last weekend. Being there on Saturday to witness the Mountaineers clinch their first trip to Omaha and seeing and feeling the energy all over the ballpark and on Randy's Ridge will stay with me forever. Hey, two great answers. So the question, what's the greatest sporting event you've ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just off the charts? All right, let's go ahead and get into the sound of sports. And we'll start with a baseball story, the latest on the state high school baseball tournament in Huntington. I can tell you that Gilmer County and Sherman have advanced to the Class Single A championship after semifinal wins today. We'll go live to Huntington for more about this at 4:30 this afternoon. The Dirty Birds host High Point again tonight after snapping a 9-game losing streak on Tuesday night. High Point topped Charleston 11-4 last night. From the big leagues in Pittsburgh, the Pirates rallied to beat the Dodgers 9-8 last night. What a night for Tyler Callahan. He had a pair of home runs, the first 2 of his major league career, the first coming in the 4th inning off Shohei Ohtani.
Tyler Callahan. Is this home run number 1? Oh, you bet. What a wallop. Hit your first big league home run off Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Then in the 8th inning, after the Pirates were down 6-1 and started to come back, Callahan delivers a go-ahead 3-run blast off the Dodgers reliever Kyle Hurt that sent the crowd into a frenzy.
That's Hurt this year. Callahan out to right, a 2-home run night. He's just put the Pirates in the lead. Tyler Callahan is your hitting hero, Pittsburgh. Wow! He's dreamt about this his entire life. This is that backyard game.
That's incredible.
There you go. So the Pirates win the game, 9-8. Here's Tyler Callahan after a game he will never forget.
It's grinding every pitch. Got to get ready to stay ready. So that's our team's mentality, and we've been rolling with it. And we got the.
Okay, I think you could understand part of that. Ohtani gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, and 6 hits, all season highs for him. But his ERA is still an amazing 1.06. Ohtani hit a 2-run homer in the ninth, but it wasn't enough. The series wraps tonight. Mitch Keller goes for the Bucks. In San Diego, the Reds dropped the rubber game of their 3-game set with the Padres, 5-4 in heartbreaking fashion. The Padres' Fernando Tatis Jr. hit just his second homer of the season with 2 outs in the ninth to end it.
Here comes Fernando with 2 outs in the last of the ninth.
Looking to end it or extend this inning.
You fall behind hitters like Fernando Tatis Jr. and you are playing with fire. Even though he still has just the 1 home run of the year, that doesn't mean he's not still a threat in the box.
Nando to left. Bidet going back. It is gone! Up over the fence on a line! Nando walks it off!
And Fernando's second of the year, a game winner against the Reds with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. The stutter step at third is back. Tatis chucks the helmet as he approaches the plate, and everybody there to greet him as the Padres walk it off and win this thing by a final of 5-4.
The San Diego Padres won for just the 4th time in their last 16 games. The Reds are off today, and they'll open a homestand tomorrow night against Arizona. Here's Reds manager Terry Francona on Chase Petty and that pitch to Tatis that ended the game.
Yeah. He knew he was coming in that inning. And I told him before the game I would not bring him in a middle of an inning. So when we got Tony up for the 8th, we got him up so he could warm up kind of regular. Actually didn't think he made a real bad pitch. When the ball was hit, I was kind of looking at my lineup card like, okay, we're going to have an open base. What do we want to do? I didn't think that ball was going to get out.
Left-hander Nick Lodolo goes in the series opener against the Diamondbacks tomorrow night at Great American Ballpark. In San Francisco, gut-wrenching loss by the Nationals to the Giants 11-10. As Washington blew an 8-run 8th-inning lead in this one, the Giants scored 5 in the 8th, 5 more in the ninth. Rookie Bryce Eldridge walked it off with a game-winning grand slam.
And here comes Eldridge.
The Giants are 0-30 in games. We're not talking about trailing after 8 innings or even after 7 innings. When they've trailed at the end of 6 innings, the Giants have not won a single game all year. 0-30. I mean, today they were down 6-1 at the end of 6. Not very likely, but here we are in the bottom of the ninth.
Wouldn't it be something?
Swinging. There's a high drive down the right field line, deep into the corner. It's a grand slam! I can't believe it! The 21-year-old Eldridge has electrified Oracle Park. It's a game-ending grand slam!
A walk-off grand slam for the lifetime Nationals fan. He absolutely kicks them in the stomach with a dagger.
All right, so get a load of this. Teams trailing by at least 8 runs in the 8th inning or later had lost 4,291 consecutive games dating back 17 years until last night. Probably a good thing the Nats are off today before taking on the Mariners tomorrow night back in D.C. And finally in Baltimore, the Orioles beat the Mariners 7-2 to snap a 4-game losing streak. Jackson Holliday with a big blow, a grand slam in the 7th inning.
Magnificent. The Orioles have the bases loaded. It's time for Jackson Holliday.
Jackson Holliday gets to do something that has eluded the Orioles. 2 out base hits, bases loaded, get a big hit.
He can really blow this thing wide open right now.
Holliday trying to hit a grand slam. Right field deep. It's gone. Grand slam to break this sucker wide open. Jackson Holliday's first big league homer was a salami. Takes the rookie Gonzalez out to right, and in the blink of an eye, 3-0 turns into 7th heaven.
All right, so this was Holliday's 3rd career grand slam. He's the first O's player in franchise history with 3 grand slams before the age of 23. The M's and the O's wrap up this 4-game set tonight. Kyle Bradish goes for the Birds. Let's take a break. Money Minutes from Huntington Bank is next.
Planning your financial future doesn't have to be overwhelming. Huntington Bank is here to help. I'm Shelley Hustle, part of your local Huntington Wealth team right here in West Virginia. We work with people just like you to create smart strategies for life's big moments and market uncertainty. Tune in for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline, where we'll discuss the week's top financial trends and what they mean for you. Catch Money Minutes Thursday at 3:45 on MetroNews Hotline.
Hi, I'm Eli Henthorn, project surveyor at CEC. Starting my career at CEC was the best decision I ever made. I wanted to explore new areas in land surveying, and CEC offered just that. I've grown so much serving diverse markets and rapidly advancing my career, and it's more than just work. CEC is like family, supporting me every step of the way. CEC is where your career takes flight. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
MetroNews Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
On the next State of Minds.
There's this big power plant that looks like it's going right on top of Davis, and I think everyone was asking the same question, why? We have a rural character, outdoor character, wild character of our county, and we would be kind of putting in this utilities size industrial landscape, and I think it would change the character of our county.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All-new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All-new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs and 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
All right, welcome back to the show. About 13 minutes till the hour. You know, a couple of times a month, we like to huddle with those guys at Huntington Bank to do a segment we lovingly call Money Minutes, where we take a check on the market. And Matt Harris joins me now. How you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you? Happy World Cup Day, happy College World Series weekend, and happy SpaceX IPO debut.
I know. You know what? This has been such a crazy day in the market already, where the president made the announcement a couple of hours, more like 90 minutes ago, that he has called off tonight's attack in Iran. That saw the price of oil drop like a rock, and now the market is rallying. But let's go ahead and start with the SpaceX story. It'll be priced officially after the close tonight and will be available as an IPO tomorrow. You know, how many of your clients are asking about SpaceX? What do you think of the situation?
Yeah, we've had quite a few clients ask us about our opinion of SpaceX, and so as fiduciaries, we really can't get into the IPO space with our fiduciary clients, but we can help them. We cannot, tell them to buy it, but we can certainly guide them. This is a historic IPO, one that certainly a lot of investors want to be a part of. And so our guidance to our clients is, if you want to buy it, be educated on it, learn about all the verticals of SpaceX, educate yourself on what price you would want to get in, and then set a limit order. That way you can set it, forget it, you can follow the stock price, but not get, sucked into the euphoria, or, if it does not do well, that protects you and that protects clients from, making uninformed decisions.
So the numbers on this SpaceX IPO from Elon Musk tomorrow are really off the charts. They're going to sell a little over 500 million shares tomorrow. 555.6 billion shares are going to be available at $135 a piece. That's going to raise $75 billion with an evaluation on the first day somewhere north of $1.75 trillion. I mean, my mind can't even get wrapped around some of these numbers. This is going to be so big tomorrow. The question is, where's all this money coming from? Is it because you're seeing some of the other big tech stocks selling off as people try to raise money for SpaceX IPO?
Yeah, a lot of it has been on the sidelines. Coming into 2026, M2 money supply, client balance sheets, business balance sheets held more cash than at any time in history. So a lot of that is just moving from cash into this. But your point is also excellent. Taking profits out of other areas of tech that have done very well, that's something always prudent to do. And they've probably, positioned themselves to have plenty of capital to buy into this thing.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this works out tomorrow. I mean, there are some people who are saying that maybe this idea that some of the other tech stocks are selling off to raise money for SpaceX is overblown, because there's something in the neighborhood of like $4 trillion worth of cash on the sidelines just waiting to be invested somewhere.
And also, this IPO is historic in that, well, number one, certainly it's the biggest in history. It eclipses Saudi Aramco's 2019 IPO by quite a large margin. But it also sets the scale for, artificial intelligence appetite of other companies that are thinking about IPOing. Think Anthropic and OpenAI. If SpaceX, if the investor appetite is there for SpaceX, which it certainly appears to be, that could open, that could open the future, kind of the next leg up for some of these AI companies.
By the way, things related to space, those stocks are soaring today, pun intended. I wanted to ask you also about, we got some data about U.S. households have never been more exposed to the stock market than they are now. Corporate equities now account for 47.1% of household financial assets. That's the highest level on record. Why do you think that is? What do you think?
Well, actually, I'm gonna borrow some education that I got from you. The article you sent me last evening, early this morning. Think of how retirement plans have evolved throughout history. It used to be, cash balance plans, defined benefits plans, pension plans, ones that investors or one that workers did not invest into directly, their companies did. And ever since 401ks have been rolled out and pensions have started to go by the wayside, investors are, every time they get paid, they're buying into equity markets. And so that could be quite the reason why they have so much exposure, is because they are continuously funneling money into the stock market.
Now, we're looking at the Dow today. The Dow is up nearly 2%. It's up over 900 points. So maybe we're not thinking about a correction today, because we're making new highs all the time. But what's a correction look like? What do you think?
Yeah.
What's a correction look like, Matt?
Well, Dave, we're probably due for a correction, but we are nowhere close to one right now. Typically, after markets move significantly higher for quite some period, they just need to take a break. They need to take a breath. Prices need to reset. Typical corrections are in the 10% range. That is absolutely healthy when we're in bull market territory. 20%, that's when you start to get into recessionary times. But to your point, prior to this morning, the S&P 500 was down 4%. And now after today's move, we're going to be down 2%. And so that's nowhere close to the 10% correction that we wouldn't be surprised if we get at some point, because markets do need to take a break.
But this is one of the things that time in the market is so much better than trying to time the market, right? Because there's only like a handful of days every year where you have to be in the market to experience the big gains. And it's looking like today is one of those days.
Yeah, there's been quite a few of those days over the past couple of months that if you were not in equities, you're probably not going to have a very strong performance here.
It's also it's really, really difficult to try to time trades or trade on what the president is saying. I mean, early this morning when he announced that the idea that they were going to call off, he was saying things like, hey, we're going to attack, we're going to take Karg Island, and we're going to take Iran's oil resources. That didn't move oil prices at all. But conversely, late this afternoon, when he called off the attack, as I said, oil prices dropped 3%. You drive yourself crazy if you try to trade on these moves.
Yeah, and that's, commodities trade in billions, stocks and bonds trade in trillions. And so the smaller guys can get pushed around quite a bit easier. So, if you're in commodities, expect volatility, because they can move, they can be pushed around just with a simple statement or a simple tweet.
All right, Matt Harris, Money Minutes from Huntington Bank. Matt, great to talk to you. We'll do this again next month. Thanks for coming on the program today.
We'll see you guys. Thank you.
All right, Matt Harris, Money Minutes. We do that twice a month. Really enjoy their contribution to our program. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and wrap hour number 1 in just a moment.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All the sports West Virginia is talking about.
Nikki Izzo-Brown, coach of the nationally ranked WVU women's soccer team.
I think they're just having a very good understanding of each other.
Join Kyle Wiggs, Brett Howe, and Coach Hunter weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show. We enjoy that segment, Money Minutes from Huntington Bank. We'll get a little bit more analysis of the stock market when Amy Smith comes on the show in a little over an hour. We'll take a break for news here at the top. When we come back, we'll take a look at the action today on Wall Street, reset our question of the day, and Kathy Mattea is going to be here to talk about the next edition of Mountain Stage here in Charleston. This is MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi there. Drought monitor released today shows ongoing moderate to severe drought, especially in central and southern West Virginia. This map does not take into account any rain that falls after Tuesday mornings. I'm hopeful we'll see some improvement carry into the next report, but nevertheless, Charleston is still behind average year-to-date precipitation by over 6 inches. A corridor of a ½ inch or more expected generally near and east of I-79. So we could see some locally higher amounts, some heavy rain and flash flooding, as well as some damaging winds and large hail for our Thursday afternoon and evening, then again on Friday. So playing through this evening, lines of storms moving to the southeast. By midnight, we should see things clearing out. Then Friday, redevelopment in the late morning through the afternoon and evening ahead of a cold front. Behind that front, clearing out for our weekend. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. A lot of heat and humidity still fueling some storms depending on where you're traveling to. You'll notice Chicago, more comfortable on Sunday with a high of 74 there. Panhandle forecast, we will see the warmest night still ahead of us for tonight, with temperatures still bottoming out around 73 for Moundsville, a high of 85 here Friday. So a bit cooler behind this front, but that's something we'll see gradually. Still some low 70s for lows to the east and highs in the 90s for spots that don't see the front quite as quickly on Friday. Meanwhile, Elkin 68 tonight. We'll look to Ripley for 72, mid-80s here generally on Friday. We'll see even some typical cooler spots maintain some mild conditions overnight. Lewisburg 64, Charleston 72, then highs in mid to upper 80s Friday. But we will see some cooler overnight periods in the 60s soon. Highs in the 80s over the weekend, 70s next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour
navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more
from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekly.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, how do you do? Metro News Hotline rolling on this Thursday afternoon in West Virginia. It's a hot one. It's a hot one out there, 87 degrees here in the big town. Hey, wherever you're listening to our show today inside the state of West Virginia or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. We hope you're having a good day. We're doing all right here in Charleston, and we thank you so much for tuning in. We got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. Man, what a crazy day in the market. I mean, the stock market really turned around and started flying in the middle of the afternoon. We'll give you the final numbers on that. Take a look at some West Virginia-related stocks. Check the energy prices, crypto as well. And don't forget, Amy Smith will join us in an hour to talk about some of the action in the market. So if you want to get Amy's take on any individual stocks, just make a comment on where we're going in the financial markets, send me a text on that. 304-TALK-304, 304-8255-304. We'll be doing that in about an hour. Also, we'll reset our question of the day. Kathy Mattea is on the show today. You know what? I think this is the first time we've had Kathy on 3 weeks in a row. And it's great to have her on today because there is an absolute killer lineup coming up for the next Mountain Stage show. And it would probably behoove you to get some tickets to this show because it's going to be the last time there'll be a live show here in Charleston at the Culture Center for a Mountain Stage until after August 1st. All right, so we'll talk about that. There's some really tremendous acts in the lineup for this next one. We'll get into that in a sec. 4:25 today, we'll have the entertainment report. 4:33, we'll go live to Huntington, catch up on the action today at the West Virginia High School Baseball Championships. Today is semifinal action in Class A. And tonight, beginning at 5 o'clock, semifinal action in AA. Advancing to Saturday morning's championships in Class A already today, Gilmer County and Sherman. So Luke Wiggs will join us. That'll be at 4:33. We'll open up the On This Date file at 4:50. Have the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports, coming in about 52 minutes. In that 5 o'clock hour at the top, as I mentioned, Amy Smith will be here. We'll play in or out at 5:25. 5:33, we'll go live to Omaha. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, will join us with the latest on the Mountaineers at the College World Series. The team worked out today, had a press availability for about a half an hour. We'll hear some of that in the 5 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's get into what happened today in the financial markets. We'll go ahead and start right there. So the Dow turned on a dime about 2 o'clock this afternoon after the president called off tonight's scheduled attack in the Middle East against Iran. So the Dow ended the day up 1.9%, gained 929 points, was over 1,000 points to the good for a while late in the afternoon, closing north of 50K at 50,848. S&P 500 was up 1.7%, tacked on 127 points today, 73.94 at the close. NASDAQ was the big percentage gainer, up 2.5% today, added 640 points. NASDAQ closing at 25,809. And, of course, the big SpaceX IPO going to be priced officially after 4 o'clock, and where we are now, and will roll out tomorrow at around $135 a share. All right. Also, stocks related to West Virginia that were big percentage gainers or losers today. There's a lot of green on the board today. Caterpillar was up almost 5%, gained $41.91, $898.07 at the close today. DuPont was up 3.5%, gained $1.60, $46.63 at the close today. Nucor was up 4%, added $10.13, $260.62. Conversely, the big integrated oils with a drop in oil prices today after the president's announcement were down. ExxonMobil was down 2.2%, lost $3.28, $147.34 at 4 o'clock Eastern. In the energy space today, oil down 4.3%, lost $3.88. WTI on the NYMEX closed at $86.15. Nat gas also down at the moment. It's still trading, down 3.5%, losing 11 cents, $3.07 per unit at the moment. Bitcoin today. Bitcoin has been going down, but today maybe it was a little oversold because it's rebounded today, up 2.7%, tacking on $1,700. Crypto, Bitcoin going for $63,435 at the moment. Here's our question of the day. Question of the day, and it is sponsored by Solango Law. WVU's in a College World Series. The Pirates stunned the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani last night. The Knicks had the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. The World Cup is underway. The Stanley Cup continues. The games have been great. You got Game 5 tonight. That best of 7 is tied at 2 games apiece. So here's the question. What's the greatest sporting event you've ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just unmatched? Once again, the question, what's the greatest sporting event you've ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just off the charts? To respond, the text line here, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255 304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, let's get Kathy Mattea up here because, well, Kathy, I'm looking at this lineup for the show, the next one here in Charleston. This is a killer. I mean, this really looks like one of the best shows in a while. What do you think?
Well, I say that every week.
Right.
The problem. I mean, every week I'm like, and every week when the show is done, I'm like, God, that was a great show. But yeah, this one, our headliner is Brandy Clark. And, she's just on a roll right now. She has just been steadily building and building and building. She's a hit songwriter. She's been nominated for a Tony for a hit Broadway show that she wrote. She's written lots of hits for other people. And then she's just come into her own in the last couple of years. Brandy Carlisle produced an album on her last album. And and she just, won a Grammy for a duet with Brandy. And it was just, it's wonderful because I've been a fan of hers for a long time.
You know what?
So
I'm looking at some of these artists that she's written songs for. I mean, we're going back like almost 20 years. Kenny Rogers, Reba, Miranda Lambert, Leanne Rimes. I mean, Casey Musgraves. You mentioned Darius Rucker, Gretchen Wilson. It just goes on and on.
Yeah, she also was a co-writer on Ashley McBride's record Lindyville, which was about a fictitious kind of rural redneck town, and wrote songs like Brenda Get Your Bra On. It's like, Brenda Get Your Bra On. There's a fight at the next trailer over in the trailer park.
Hey, I looked at this list. The first song she ever wrote in 2005 was called That's Why I Hate Pontiacs.
She's great, but here's the thing. My favorite song of hers is from about 10 years ago, and it's called Since You've Gone to Heaven. Since you've gone to heaven, the whole world's gone to hell.
Oh, that's great.
And she's a wonderful singer, great writer, and it's going to be great to have her on.
So Brandy co-wrote Casey Musgraves' Follow Your Arrow. Ryan, let's play just a little bit of that. Let's go ahead and hear that.
That'd be good.
Here we go. All right. I'll tell you what, while Ryan's getting that together, let's talk about some of the artists on this particular show.
I have the Steep Canyon Rangers, who are a now legendary bluegrass band out of North Carolina, probably best known at this point for touring with Steve Martin for the last few years.
Right.
They've made 3 records with Steve and 15 records on their own. They have a brand new album out, and I'm excited because I've never met these guys. So I'm thrilled to get to meet them and hear them play and get them playing on the finale and just, hear them live for the first time.
And you got some West Virginia connections in this show, too.
Yeah, Philip Bowen is on, and Philip is like hometown hero, His hometown, he calls his hometown Montgomery, and he was raised there for his whole life. And then he went to school in college in Florida and wound up in Detroit for work. And a friend of his, he's a phenom fiddle player. He's a multi-instrumentalist, but he's just a killer fiddle player. And a friend of his talked him into doing music videos on TikTok during COVID. And he has a 1.5 million followers. He's amazing. And they have a TikTok best of TikTok contest winner, and he won the whole darn thing. And he has been a finalist on America's Got Talent, and he's just a great guy, writes lots of songs about what it's like to grow up in West Virginia, and he has a new album that's about exactly that.
Yeah, so his first album, Old Kanawha, is great, and the second album, Appalachia Forever, the sophomore album, is getting a lot of buzz too, and it's been out for less than a year. And he's also contributed, he's had a collaboration with Charles Wesley Godwin, who's just hot as fire right now. There's one more artist. Tell me about Tristan.
Tristan, this will be the first time I've heard her. She's been in Nashville making rock and roll music, kind of progressive folk alternative rock. And she writes these songs that are about she just says, I really don't care if I get played on the radio or on the most popular thing. I want to write songs that make you feel something, and I want to write songs basically about the nooks and crannies of life. And she has a great following that she's built over the last 20 years. And so she's going to open the show. I'm really excited to meet her, too.
All right, let's go ahead and run down some of the music in this program. And, Ryan, let's go ahead and double back. And Brandy Clark's collaboration with Casey Musgraves on this song, Follow Your Arrow.
If you save yourself from marriage, you're a bore. If you don't save yourself from marriage, you're a whore.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Let's go on and let's have something from the Steep Canyon Rangers. They'll also be appearing on Mountain Stage this week as we continue on with Kathy Mattea.
One false step is all that you get when you're living out on the edge. Feeling strong as a speeding train, flying full steam ahead of speeding train. Circling the drain, going round and around and down, down, down. Big coal moved out a while ago, left nothing but shattered stone. Big pharmacy came to ease that pain, like a buzzard to the bleaching bones to ease the pain. Circling the drain, going round and around and down, down, down.
All right, there you go. I tell you what, Kathy, now you're going to have, as the host, can't you get Steep Canyon Rangers and maybe Philip Bowen out there together? You got some pretty serious pickers on this show.
Yeah, that's the fun part, because I get to collaborate with Ron Sola, and we get to figure out a finale that will showcase everybody. And I think we came up with a good choice this week, so I'm kind of excited to see how it turns out.
Let's get a little Philip Bowen in here. Here's one of his songs from his album Appalachia Forever called Bulldog.
Thought the grass would be greener, but all I got was black and blue. Took it on the chin, falling faster than I wanted to. Yeah, the odds get worse, but I suck it up and roll the dice. Short on the money and long on a dream of mine. Once I thought I had it, but it slipped right through the net. Chasing every rainbow, I ain't found a pot of treasure yet. And I met Lady Luck, yeah, she's meaner than a life of sin. No, you can't skip the work and get by on a prayer, amen, amen.
All right, that sounds good. Kathy Mattea, host of Mountain Stage. I tell you what, that sounds like a really great show. It's coming Sunday at the Culture Center Theater here in Charleston. And I tell you what, there should be a line tomorrow to get some tickets to these shows that are going to be posted online. I'm looking at some of the acts that are coming up in the next few weeks. Margot Price, the Jayhawks. You got some really good shows coming up.
Tommy Prine is going to be on again, and Tiff Merritt. It's going to be great lineup, and it's always fun when we get to announce new shows, because a lot of times we'll know these people are going to be on and we can't tell anybody for a while. So it'll be fun to see everybody come and be able to get excited about the next round.
Hey, I want to ask you one question also about Brandy Clark and just songwriting. I mean, she's written so many songs. Where the inspiration for these songs come from and the process of writing a hit song, was that frustrating for you at any point, trying to write songs, trying to write a hit song, thinking, I've got to have this, and this element to make this work? That's a real interesting art.
Oh, it's fascinating. You know, I think of myself as a singer who sometimes writes songs. Brandy Clark is a songwriter first and a singer second, and she'll be the first to tell you that. I have never written a hit song, and I've written some of my own songs, and I've co-written, but a long time ago I decided I was really going to dive into singing, and it's one of my big regrets, actually. I think I could have amassed a pretty good body of my own work, but I just have so much fun when I'm singing. Hey, so I just wanted to concentrate on that.
Hey, are you going to be out on the road at any point in July?
I am going to be out on the road in June a bunch. I'm going to be, where am I going to be? Here I am. I'm going to be in Huntington on the 3rd of July.
Okay.
And Rocky Mount, Virginia, and Cincinnati, and Chicago, and then I'm taking July off, and I'll be back out after we do those first two shows of Mountain Stage in August.
Hey, Kathy, thanks for coming on the show. I always enjoy our conversations, and it looks like you got a winner of a show coming on Sunday here in Charleston.
Thank you. And an answer to your question of the day.
Yeah?
Daytona 500.
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a great point. Kathy, thank you.
It was a good one. All righty. See you, Dave.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the entertainment report in just a minute.
The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program has been a huge success. High school juniors from all across the state have applied, and we're down to 15 finalists. Now, we need your help. please go to WVMetroNews.com and vote for your favorite finalist. By casting your vote, you can help determine who will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. That includes room, board, tuition, and fees. Just log on to WVMetroNews.com, click the Vote Now button, and cast your vote. You have until midnight, June 14th, to help us change the life of a West Virginia student and their family forever. Cast your vote today by clicking the Vote Now button at WVMetroNews.com. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar is supported by Greer Industries, the West Virginia Hospital Association, ZMM Architects and Engineers, the West Virginia Farm Bureau, Friends of Coal, and of course, Metro News. Vote now at WVMetroNews.com and help us change the life of a West Virginia student forever.
Don't forget about our podcast. Check out your favorite podcast provider or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Stay ahead of West Virginia weather with Metro News Television. Now bringing you a new way to stay informed across the Mountain State. Get updates daily at 9, noon, and 4. From headlines and precipitation to severe weather threats and highs and lows. See conditions from panhandle to panhandle and check travel with the Fly CRW forecast. Our meteorologists are on your screens and on Talkline, Midday, Hotline, and Sportsline, keeping you up to date. Metro News Television weather. Accurate, local, and always on.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Just halfway home on this Thursday edition of Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in. Time now for Talkin' TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
The police report just came in.
Only Murders in the Building has confirmed their recurring guest cast for the upcoming 6th season. Season 6 will find the crime-solving trio in London, where they will be joined by new cast members, including Jennifer Saunders, Simone Ashley, and Sharon Horgan. The new season is currently in production.
The strength of the ancestors.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is coming to Disney+. The Academy Award-winning third installment of James Cameron's Avatar series will hit the streamer on June 24th. Disney is the parent company of Hulu, Disney+, and ABC News. K-pop Demon Hunter's one-year anniversary is on June 20th, and there are several ways to celebrate. The film is being re-released into theaters, and outdoor venues across the country will also offer free sing-along screenings. To find information on screenings near you, check your local theater listings. And a happy birthday to Peter Dinklage, who is 57 today. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Chuck, thank you. We'll get the latest on what's going on at the state baseball tournament in Huntington in just a moment. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi there. Drought monitor released today shows ongoing moderate to severe drought, especially in central and southern West Virginia. This map does not take into account any rain that falls after Tuesday mornings. I'm hopeful we'll see some improvement carry into the next report, but nevertheless, Charleston is still behind average year-to-date precipitation by over 6 inches. A corridor of a ½ inch or more expected generally near and east of I-79. So we could see some locally higher amounts, some heavy rain and flash flooding, as well as some damaging winds and large hail for our Thursday afternoon and evening, then again on Friday. So playing through this evening, lines of storms moving to the southeast. By midnight, we should see things clearing out. Then Friday, redevelopment in the late morning through the afternoon and evening ahead of a cold front behind that front clearing out for our weekend. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. A lot of heat and humidity still fueling some storms depending on where you're traveling to. You'll notice Chicago more comfortable on Sunday with a high of 74 there. Panhandle forecast, we will see the warmest night still ahead of us for tonight, with temperatures still bottoming out around 73 for Moundsville, a high of 85 here Friday. So a bit cooler behind this front, but that's something we'll see gradually. Still some low 70s for lows to the east and highs in the 90s for spots that don't see the front quite as quickly on Friday. Meanwhile, Elkin 68 tonight. We'll look to Ripley for 72, mid-80s here generally on Friday. We'll see even some typical cooler spots maintain some mild conditions overnight. Lewisburg 64, Charleston 72, then highs in mid to upper 80s Friday. But we will see some cooler overnight periods in the 60s soon. Highs in the 80s over the weekend, 70s next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. The conversation starts long before the game.
he doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNews.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 minutes till the hour, Metro News Hotline. We got a lot of stuff to get into in the second half of the program. Going to do a quick review of what's going on at the state high school baseball tournament in Huntington, Jack Cook Field on the campus of Marshall University. This tournament was in Charleston for years, and it's in Huntington this year. And we've now moved into the semifinal rounds. We've also expanded into 4 Mountain State classes. So the semifinals in Class A have already taken place. The final is now set. The AA semifinals are set for tonight. The AAA and the Quad A semis are tomorrow, and then it's going to be a busy Saturday with all 4 state championship games. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Luke Wiggs is going to join me here in just one sec. One thing we're going to do, though, before that is we are going to reset our question of the day. Because, man, there is so much stuff going on. WVU is in the College World Series. They play Troy at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Kevin Kinder is going to join us live from Omaha. That will be in an hour. Also, WVU had a press availability for about 30 minutes earlier today. We're going to hear some of that in the 5 o'clock hour. The Pirates just stunned the Dodgers, probably the best win for the Buccos all season. The Knicks had the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history last night, coming back from 29 down to frustrate the Spurs. Stanley Cup Finals continue tonight. We did a segment earlier this week about whether or not this is the most exciting Stanley Cup Finals ever, and to this point, it's in the running. So the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Solango Law, what's the greatest sporting event you have ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just unmatched? And we've already had some really great responses to this. Once again, the question, and we want to get your response to it. What's the greatest sporting event you have ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just unmatched? To respond, the text line here, 304-TALK-304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, Luke Wiggs is part of the Metro News team that's calling the games on many affiliates, and there's a live feed at the website, WVMetroNews.com. And he joins us now after what's already been a pretty interesting doubleheader of semifinal action in Class A. How you doing today, Luke?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me, Dave.
Thanks for coming on the show. Let's talk about what went down. And first of all, the number 1 seed in Class Single A is out of the tournament. Huntington St. Joe's lost early this morning. Tell me about the first semifinal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think there's 2 really big stories that come out of this game, Dave. And first of all, as number 1 goes down, Gilmer beats them 8-4, fell behind 1-0, and then rattled off 8 runs in a row. Got a great effort from freshman pitcher Roddick Page. Went 4 innings and also drove in 5 runs in that game for Gilmer County. The problem, though, at that time was his last hit in the bottom of the 4th inning. He turned his ankle when he was rounding first base and had to be lifted from the game. So Colton Holbert then came into the game and finished it off more or less finished it off for Gilmer County. I'll get to the second part of the story in a moment. Because, again, Gilmer upsetting number 1. It's a big deal. They had a really well-played first game, did the Titans, and then they're off to the championship game. But the second part of the story, though, Dave, is the controversy. Again, they had to pull that starting pitcher, Roddick Page, because of an ankle injury. They bring in their ace, Colton Holbert, who had pitched 4 days ago, so he was allowed to come back and pitch. There was a pitch disparity between what the official scorekeeper had and what was on the scoreboard for Holbert's pitch count in this game. They wanted to lift him at 50 pitches so he could come back and play in a potential championship game. They lifted him with 50 on the scoreboard. Huffman comes in and gets the final out of the game. And then after the game is over, the official scorekeeper said, well, no, we had him for 51, not for 50. And that means that Holbert is not eligible, the ace pitcher for Gilmer County, to come back and pitch in the championship game. So Gilmer County beats number one, huge story. Gilmer County not having their ace for the championship game, also a huge story.
So what's the plan for Gilmer County in the championship game against Sherman in terms of who's going to start on the mound? Is it going to be like Johnny Allstaff, or have they got a number two starter?
Well, the number two starter was who pitched today in Page, so I think it's going to be a game by committee when Gilmer County tries to win that state championship this upcoming Saturday. It led to a lot of consternation here at Jack Cook Field, as you would imagine. There was a conversation as to whether or not Holbert could be eligible, could not be. The official decision was nope, he threw 51 pitches, so Gilmer's just going to have to throw it all on the wall and see what sticks.
Wow. So how long after the game was that revealed?
It was a conversation that probably within a half hour of the game going final. Now,
Okay.
Chris Lawrence was doing sidelines for the next game, Sherman and Pendleton County. He asked Wayne Ryan to his face, and we got it out in the air probably an hour after the game was over, but sometime in that time frame.
All right, so let's talk about the other game where things went a little bit more according to Hoyle. The third seed Sherman blanked Pendleton County 3-0 in that game, so the Tide is through to the championship game on Saturday morning. Tell me about that semifinal game.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke Delaney, again, their ace. He had pitched back on Saturday and threw a complete game shutout. He came back in this one and was excellent as well, had 9 strikeouts in the game. And here's the stat for you, Dave. It was a 2-hit complete game shutout for him. That means that Delaney on the season finishes with 69 2/3 innings on the year and 99 strikeouts and not a single earned run. He gave up 4 unearned runs throughout the season, but finishes this season nearly 70 innings pitched without an earned run. He also had a couple of hits in the game, so without question, Sherman's MVP as they beat Pendleton County.
That's unbelievable, right? 0.00 ERA. I mean, that's a state record that'll never be topped, right?
That's right. You can only tie it. You can't beat it.
That's pretty amazing. You know, I've been kind of following Pendleton County. They had such a great story. They were the only team in any of the 4 classes in this tournament that got into the state finals without a winning record. And they really made a great run.
Oh, yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, they do a great job. Coach Yoakum with that team. They got to avenge an area rival by upsetting East Hardy and eliminating the reigning state champions. Obviously, Pendleton County would want to come down here and win a championship. That's everybody's goal. But if you as a 7th seed with a losing record, like you said, come down here and beat the reigning state champions and then give the best pitcher in single A a run for his money, I mean, they made him work. They made him earn that complete game shutout. Pendleton County can't hang their heads at all. They were fantastic this week.
All right, Luke Wiggs is with us from Huntington, where MetroNews is your home for the West Virginia State High School Baseball Tournament. So now we've got the Class AA semifinals, and the game between the top seed Wheeling Central and the 4 seed Logan's going to go in about a half an hour. What do you think about Wheeling Central's chances tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, and I in no way wanted to discourage anybody from turning their radio dial away from the MetroNews hotline, but if you feel so inclined, this pitching matchup we're about to see with Wheeling Central and Logan, Ivan Miller of Logan, who's pitched once already in this tournament, Kevin Gertz was able to keep his pitch count down and bring him back to pitch, and then Stephen Brodergaard of Wheeling Central is going to be as good of a pitching matchup as we've seen all week. Wheeling Central, you may remember, they had to walk off James Monroe to win their first-round game. They were almost upset. Logan, on the other hand, had a little bit of an easier game against Doddridge County. So I'm really looking forward for Miller against Brodergaard in this game today to see if Wheeling Central can repeat as champions or Logan can get the better of them because, well, you've got Coach Cover and you've got Coach Kevin Gertz. You've got 2 of the best coaches in the state there, too.
So you've got a 1 versus 4 matchup, and we're talking about the Class AA semifinals that are going to go here in about 15 minutes in one semi, and then the 2 and the 3, Frankfort and Independence. So all 4 of these teams basically were expected to win their games in the quarterfinal round, and they did. What do you think about Frankfort and Independence?
I think this is a really good Frankfort team. You have to go a ways back, all the way back to the 7th of May for their last loss, and that was to a Quad A team in Hedgesville. There's a lot of really good baseball played in the Eastern Panhandle, and Lance and Orndorff, is one of the better players in the state. So that's kind of the Frankfort perspective. And the other side of things for Independence, they had a little bit of a thriller and a bit of a nail-biter against Buffalo in the first round, but it's still a Patriots team that's won 28 games on the season. They're really good. They have another fantastic hitter on their roster in Micah Cuthbert. So I think we're going to see maybe a little bit more of a a pitcher-friendly game here first between Wheeling Central and Logan tonight. When we see Frankfort against Independence, might be some more offensive fireworks in that one.
Luke, we're starting to wind down with you. You know, it's really hot here in Charleston today with temperatures in the upper 80s. What about the weather in the River City for these games this afternoon? I'm guessing it's pretty humid down there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge factor. The humidity makes everything just kind of moist and sticky. And the other issue that we're having today, thankfully some pretty significant storm cells have missed us, but we've had some pretty crazy wind, upwards of 20 and 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that's been a huge issue with some of these balls hitting the air. Some of these outfielders have had some tough plays. So you're battling the humidity, you're battling the heat and the moisture, and you're also battling the wind. The weather has certainly been a factor here at Jack Cook Field.
Hey, you know, just one more thing before we cut you loose, and we do appreciate you joining us this afternoon. I mean, this tournament, the state tournament, had been in Charleston for so many years. This is the first year it's in Huntington at Jack Cook Field. I think that makes Gilmer County's win this morning even a little bit more impressive because beating Huntington St. Joe, the number 1 seed. For St. Joe, this is a de facto home game.
Yeah, you're right. And it was interesting to see, you know, Huntington St. Joseph's, as you would imagine, with school out, had a really good crowd here in the morning. Gilmer County had some people kind of arrive late. It was interesting to see the mood in the stadium really shift away from the Irish to the Titans when they, you know, started to build that lead. And then Gilmer County kind of took over the stadium. So you're right. It made it even tougher for them playing in Huntington's backyard to come away with that victory. It made it even more impressive.
All right, got to leave it there. Luke, thanks for giving me a couple of minutes today. I appreciate it. We'll be listening.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, Luke Wiggs in Huntington at the West Virginia State High School Baseball Tournament. As we said, the single A semifinals played earlier today. The top seed Huntington St. Joe knocked out by Gilmer County, 8-4 the final score there. Sherman has advanced to the championship game as well with a win over the 7 seed Pendleton County, 3-0. The single A championship game is slated for Saturday. It'll be at 10 a.m. And the Class AA semifinal is going to be getting underway here in just a bit at the top of the hour, where the top seed, the Maroon Knights of Wheeling Central Catholic, will go up against the number 4 seed, the Logan Wildcats. Once that game is completed, 50 minutes later, we'll get the final Class AA semifinal as the 2nd seed Frankfort takes on 3rd seeded Independence. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into the On This Date file. Stay tuned.
As West Virginia takes their shot at glory in Omaha and captures the nation's attention, West Virginia businesses are building for the future. When it's time for a new medical facility, hospital expansion, historic renovation, auto dealership, apartment complex, sports complex, or church addition, trust the team that's been helping build West Virginia for more than 25 years. Jarrett Construction delivers design build, construction management, and general contracting services throughout the state of West Virginia. Visit jarrett-construction.com today. WV030133.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? JW Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
All right, welcome back. 5 o'clock hour, Amy Smith will be joining us to talk about the action in the financial markets today. The Dow was up over 900 points. The Dow turned on a dime this afternoon after the news from the president that the attack on Iran has been called off for tonight. Oil prices dropped, tech surged, and the overall market surged. And, of course, SpaceX IPO is coming tomorrow. So we'll talk about that. That'll be at the top of the 5:33. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, will join us live from Omaha as we get more on the Mountaineers and their impending game against the Troy Trojans tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. All right, now it's time to crack open the On This Date file, and we will start with the birthdays. And as always, we will start with the sports birthdays because we've got a really a bunch of significant ones today, including Jackie Stewart. Jackie Stewart, the Scottish racer, 27 Formula One wins. He won the Formula One championship 3 times and spent tons of time on ABC's Wide World of Sports talking about racing. He's 87 years old today. Gary Fensick, the safety for the Super Bowl Shuffle Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears, is 72 years old today. Diana Taurasi, 10-time WNBA All-Star, Olympic gold. How many times? 5 times. She's 44 years old today. Jose Reyes of the Mets and the Rockies having a birthday today, 43. Maya Moore, man, former MVP of the WNBA. That's 37 years old today. So Maya Moore and Diana Taurasi share the same birthday. Joe Montana is 70 years old today. Born in Western PA. Quarterback for the Niners, so many Super Bowl championships. But you know what? Let's go back to the conference championship game, the NFC title game in 1981, the catch against the Cowboys.
We had to find somebody that others weren't aware of or that we felt had more potential than other people did.
He's intelligent and has a certain amount of size.
He's got the quick release. He's going to be a fine full quarterback.
Montana lines up at the 5, and on 3rd down and 3, he rolls right, looking to throw, and he throws into the end zone. Touchdown!
When I let go,
I thought it was arm lengths above his head. I didn't know how great of a catch it really was until we were in the locker room.
There you go. So Joe Montana, happy birthday. Joe Montana, Joe Cool, is 70 years old today. From the world of entertainment, Shia LaBeouf, Indiana Jones, the Transformer movies, he's 40 years old today. Adrienne Barbeau from Maude, 81 years old today. Hugh Laurie from House. There you go, Ryan. 67 years old today. Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. You know, he has that accent, right? But he's from New Jersey. 57 years old today. Birth anniversaries: Gene Wilder, born in the state in 1933. The Producers, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. It goes on and on. He died in late August of 2016 at the age of 83. From horse racing, on this date, 1977, Seattle Slew wins the Belmont Stakes and the Triple Crown.
In the stretch, here he comes, and he's opening it up again. It's Seattle Slew, and he's drawing clear of the field. Seattle Slew has 4 lengths on Run Dusty Run. It's Run Dusty Run in second and San Hedron third. They're nearing the finish line. It's still Seattle Slew, and he's opened it out to 4.5. Then Run Dusty Run and San Hedron. Seattle Slew wins the Belmont Stakes by 4 lengths and becomes the 10th horse in thoroughbred history to capture the Triple Crown, and is the first horse ever to carry an undefeated record through the Triple Crown.
There you go. Seattle Slew winning the Belmont Stakes on this date in 1977 and the coveted Triple Crown along with it. And from hockey on this date, 2017, Stanley Cup Finals, the Penguins defeat the Predators 2-0 in Nashville to go back-to-back, the first defending champs in the NHL to repeat in nearly 20 years.
For only the 3rd time, the Conn Smythe Trophy is being awarded to the same person 2 times in a row. Sidney Crosby, you are the playoffs MVP. In our 100th year and the 125th year of the Stanley Cup, it's only fitting that a team that for the first time in almost 2 decades has been able to hoist it. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins and their great fans back in Pittsburgh.
There you go. So the Pens beat the Preds on this date in 2017 to repeat as Stanley Cup final champs. And our musical birthday to the break, Frank Beard, the drummer in ZZ Top, is 77 today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are coming up next.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
I was sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another grand on them tomorrow.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows for Talkline on Metro News Television.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All right, sports headlines at 5 o'clock. State high school baseball tournament in Huntington. Winners today in Class A semifinal action. Gilmer County and Sherman. The Pirates will host the Dodgers. World Cup underway. Mexico leads South Africa 2-0. They are playing in the 93rd minute. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi there. Drought monitor released today shows ongoing moderate to severe drought, especially in central and southern West Virginia. This map does not take into account any rain that falls after Tuesday mornings. I'm hopeful we'll see some improvement carry into the next report, but nevertheless, Charleston is still behind average year-to-date precipitation by over 6 inches. A corridor of a ½ inch or more expected generally near and east of I-79. So we could see some locally higher amounts, some heavy rain and flash flooding, as well as some damaging winds and large hail for our Thursday afternoon and evening, then again on Friday. So playing through this evening, lines of storms moving to the southeast. By midnight, we should see things clearing out. Then Friday, redevelopment in the late morning through the afternoon and evening ahead of a cold front. Behind that front, clearing out for our weekend. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. A lot of heat and humidity still fueling some storms depending on where you're traveling to. You'll notice Chicago, more comfortable on Sunday with a high of 74 there. Panhandle forecast, we will see the warmest night still ahead of us for tonight, with temperatures still bottoming out around 73 for Moundsville, a high of 85 here Friday. So a bit cooler behind this front, but that's something we'll see gradually. Still some low 70s for lows to the east and highs in the 90s for spots that don't see the front quite as quickly on Friday. Meanwhile, Elkin 68 tonight. We'll look to Ripley for 72, mid-80s here generally on Friday. We'll see even some typical cooler spots maintain some mild conditions overnight. Lewisburg 64, Charleston 72, then highs in mid to upper 80s Friday. But we will see some cooler overnight periods in the 60s soon. Highs in the 80s over the weekend, 70s next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, if you've just tuned in, we got a lot of stuff to get into in this next hour, and we are glad you're here. You know, we get started every day at 3:06 on the Metro News Radio Network. If you've missed any of the stuff we've been up to in the first couple of hours, that's okay. That's okay. We'll take you whenever we can get you, but we do want to make you aware that that stuff's available at the website, WVMetroNews.com, as a podcast. Our show is there as a podcast. All the other shows produced by the network also there as well. Check it out, the website, WVMetroNews.com. And for those who are watching on YouTube, Facebook Live, the Metro News TV app, how you doing out there? Thanks for watching. All right, we'll reset our question of the day here in a sec. We will talk to Amy Smith, 15 years at Investors Business Daily. What a day to have her on. My goodness, the market turned on a dime today around 2 o'clock when the president made comments about calling off the scheduled attack of Iran tonight. The market really loved that. Oil prices dropped like a rock. You know, what do you make of the market? Can you believe it? Anyway, the Wall Street pros have shot the market up. The Dow was over 1,000 points to the good for a while today. We were settling up about 1.8%, and NASDAQ was up almost 2.5% today. So what do you make of it? Amy Smith will join me here in a minute. We'll talk all about it. If you got a stock that you want to hear Amy's take on it, Send me a text on that, 304-TALK, 304-304-8255-304. I'm on X too, at Weekly, WEEKLUI. We'll play in or out. That'll be at 5:25. 5:33, we'll go to Omaha. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, is embedded with the Mountaineers out there. We'll hear about what the Mountaineers are up to today. A little practice, a little press availability as they prep now for their first game against the Troy Trojans from the Sun Belt in less than 24 hours. That game's going to go tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern. All right, here's our question of the day. So, WVU, as I mentioned, in the College World Series, the Pirates just stunned the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani last night. The Knicks had the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history against the Spurs last night. The World Cup is underway, started today. Mexico wrapping up a win over South Africa. And the Stanley Cup Finals all tied up at 2 games apiece, moving back to Raleigh for pivotal Game 5 tonight. Unbelievable run of big-time sports. And don't forget the West Virginia High School Baseball Tournament. So here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Solengo Law. What is the greatest sporting event you've ever watched live, either in person or on TV, when the energy was just unmatched? What was the greatest sporting event you ever watched live, either in person or on TV, where the energy was just unmatched? We got a lot of response to this. Let me get a couple of text messages, and then we'll talk about the financial markets. 304-694. Dave, it has to be the Steelers against the Ravens, January the 4th. Crazy, crazy atmosphere. Yeah, that was quite the game. The Steelers won that game, final 26-24, and won the division with that win. Yeah, that was a crazy day. A couple more here. John in Martinsburg. Hey, Dave, you know I was at the USA-Russia 1980 Olympic hockey game. Hard to match that. Yeah, man, the Miracle of Lake Placid. They made a movie about it, Miracle. Let's see. 681-981. Dave, no longer in the 240. I've been to 3 Kentucky Derbies, all high energy. Yeah, you know, when we had Kathy Mattea on the show about an hour ago, she was mentioning her answer was the Daytona 500. When you get a Triple Crown race or the beginning of a NASCAR race or the beginning of the Indianapolis 500, it is pretty high energy. That's a good answer. All right, let's get Amy Smith on the show. Amy comes to us from Los Angeles. She worked for years at Investors Business Daily. She's in California now, but she grew up in West Virginia, grew up in the Elkins area, and she is, after all, the shining pride of Randolph County. Amy, how you doing this afternoon, first of all?
Hey, Dave, I'm doing great. I want to just chime in here. We were at the Rose Bowl in 1999, and we watched the Women's World Cup in soccer with Brandi Chastain and Mia Hamm, Julie Foudy, Brianna Scurry, Michelle Akers, and the energy was just out. Everyone was just on their feet almost the whole game. It was very exciting.
Hey, those are 2 great answers. You know what, Amy, is this 2 weeks in a row that we've had you on the show when the market has been going great guns? That never happens.
I know, magical charm today. Well, you know, you said it all. You know, the market surged today. Trump said, you know, no strikes against Iran. Oil was down. We have some of these chip stocks that have come up, Micron Technology, Advanced Micro Devices, Intel, Marvell. You know, it was a great day. Even though the Mag 7 are still looking weak, we had a lot of good names moving higher today.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Of course, everybody's bracing for the SpaceX IPO that's coming tomorrow. And some of the Mag 7 stocks, which have been kind of slipping, rebounded a little bit today. I mean, NVIDIA was up almost $5 today. Google was up over $1. Meta was down. Apple bounced back, up $4. It's going to be interesting to see the action tomorrow when we finally get the SpaceX IPO up and running.
Well, it sure will be. And, you know, I sent you something. We've talked about this before. I think what people need to keep in mind is, you know, everybody said, buy Facebook, buy Facebook. But in the beginning, you know, the Facebook did not do too well. It had a great decline right off the start. You know, the stock came down. It was down 32% the first year of trading. And, you know, that was because the valuation was what it was. They weren't producing earnings and sales yet. And, you know, we've had some other ones that, you know, we had all this big, like Lyft and Coin and Robinhood and Rivian. And those didn't do very well either. So we'll just have to wait and see if this hype holds up. what the pricing is. If people go too crazy over the buying, it'll be very interesting to see.
So, man, you go back and look at some of the biggest IPOs in history, and a lot of these stocks are great. I mean, from Blackstone to Xerox, you mentioned Facebook. There's a whole host of them that when you look back on it, Ford, McDonald's, Apple, Goldman Sachs, a lot of these stocks as IPOs a year later were down, but they turned out to be tremendous long-term plays.
Right. That's exactly true. I think you could throw a whole bunch more in there like that. It doesn't mean that this is not a buy. It doesn't mean – I just think that the retail investor needs to be a little careful about what they do. You know, these first couple of weeks of trading are going to be pretty volatile.
All right. Let me ask you, so the general market was up, but some of the other things that are happening in the market, I mean, inflation is kicking up. Oil is still relatively expensive, but, you know, you just kind of got to go with the flow, right? But can you buy into this market?
Well, I think if you do, I think I'd go like the Qs, the QQQ. I think I would do something because we keep flipping and flopping. We had a rough day last Friday, and all of the, some of the AI names really got hit. We also have the possibility that the rate may no longer be debating rate cuts. In fact, if inflation remains an issue, we may be getting a hike.
All right. What do you think about maybe some of the stocks that are heavily impacted by oil prices, if oil prices are actually rolling back? And that would mean something like FedEx or UPS or maybe some of the cruise lines.
Oh, yeah, the cruise lines, the airlines, travel stocks, absolutely. The ones that are going to benefit from lower oil. If indeed this works, we get the Strait of Hormuz, open and moving again, absolutely. Those would be places to look.
How about some place like CAT? I mean, that's another stock that's heavily involved with energy prices, and it had a very good day today.
Well, you're right. That's where people are going to go looking. The professional investors, they're looking at oil every day, just like you and me. And if it does happen, they're going to be some rotation into some of these names.
I also know that some of the big money center banks had a pretty good day today as well. I mean, J.P. Morgan's moving, Morgan Stanley's having a good run, BOA. All the big money center banks took part in today's rally.
Well, you're right, and that's something to look at too. And J.P. Morgan says that AI is already boosting some of their business results. So we'll have to keep an eye on that too. Things are moving rather quickly as far as AI and people, and putting it into their businesses. Of course, part of the problem with that is, how much money they're spending. Now, Oracle got hit because, they said they beat on their earnings, but, they're going to raise another $20 billion to put into AI. And again, these numbers are just astronomical.
Hey, you ready for a couple of listener questions?
Absolutely.
All right, 304-625. Dave, could you ask the shining pride of Randolph County about Dell? It's pulled back. What does she think of the price now that it's under $400?
Well, you're right. Dell's one of those names. It popped. It had a great report. You're right. It has pulled back. Let's see here. I would look to see if it can retake 400 and see if some of that enthusiasm can continue.
I tell you what, though. I mean, it's hard to pull the trigger on something like Dell that's already had such an amazing run this calendar year.
It is. And, of course, they reported earnings here. It was on May 28th. And, their earnings were up 214%. They had just a fabulous report. You're right. It's a little bit late in the game, perhaps.
Hey, let me ask you this. So I'm sitting at home yesterday, and I'm getting ready for the show, and I'm monitoring the networks, and I see where the president came out and said, hey, congratulations to Citigroup. Congrats to Citigroup. And the CEO, so he writes this real flowery social media message. And, he's only doing that when he's investing in these names like Dell, for example, right? So, I mean, he buys some Dell, and then lo and behold, Dell gets like a big government contract. I mean, if you can't beat him, join him, right? I mean, if he's naming these stocks in his social media post, don't you basically have to believe that there's something going on there, that you have to look at these names if he is looking at them?
Yeah, I wouldn't go. Let's put it this way: I wouldn't short a name that's on that list.
Right.
I think you're right. I think most of these names end up doing pretty well. So, yeah, you can certainly keep an eye on that and follow Truth Social.
Well, look how well you would have done if you would have bought Dell the moment he mentioned it, right?
Right. And that and then the earnings report and everything. So, yeah, some of these things, it's just we're in a kind of a fascinating market. Tomorrow, you're right, Dave, that's going to be just a big deal. Let's see what happens to the trading all over. Let's see where the volume is going in the market. It's going to be a fun day.
Hey, I got one more listener question for you. Here's a listener who wants to know a little bit about Vanguard's Growth Index ETF. VUG is the symbol. So take a look at that chart, and what do you think about the Vanguard Growth Index Fund, the ETF? It traded up almost 1 3/4% today.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a fine way to invest. I'm a Vanguard fan. I think that it's got very good products. That is going to mirror whatever the general market is doing, just exactly. So if the growth names are pulling back as they started to do here, we've got a pullback starting, let's see where we're here. June the 3rd. We just have to be careful. If the general market pulls back, this one will go down as well. If your belief is that you think the market's going to go higher, if we do get this deal with Iran, we do get the lower oil, we get the Hormuz opened up, yeah, this is definitely an ETF that you could go with for sure.
Well, Amy, this is 2 weeks in a row. You've been on the show, and we've had a good week, so let's try to make it 3 in a row next Thursday at 5. What do you say?
I'm game for that, Dave. I'll see you next week.
All right, Amy Smith talking about the financial markets. A big day today. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and play in or out. Stay tuned.
The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program has been a huge success. High school juniors from all across the state have applied, and we're down to 15 finalists. Now, we need your help. Please go to WVMetroNews.com and vote for your favorite finalist. By casting your vote, you can help determine who will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. That includes room, board, tuition, and fees. Just log on to WVMetroNews.com, click the Vote Now button, and cast your vote. You have until midnight, June 14th, to help us change the life of a West Virginia student and their family forever. Cast your vote today by clicking the Vote Now button at WVMetroNews.com. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar is supported by Greer Industries, the West Virginia Hospital Association, ZMM Architects and Engineers, the West Virginia Farm Bureau, Friends of Coal, and of course, Metro News. Vote now at WVMetroNews.com and help us change the life of a West Virginia student forever.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304.
Or tweet at WEEKLEY.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
All right, welcome back. We'll go out to Omaha, where West Virginia is getting ready to play in the College World Series tomorrow. Kevin Kinder's going to check in with us in about 10 minutes or so. But now it's time to play in or out. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. We call it in or out. The setup, simple. 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. The topics of which change daily. Let's get started. It's a 2-man bobsled. Coop's on a personal day. Ryan, are you ready?
This is the second segment that I have spoken in.
Congratulations on all your success.
Yes.
Food or beverage. Chick-fil-A welcoming in the summer of 2026 with the return of the honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich. All right. The honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich features an original or spicy filet. You can also opt for the grilled if you choose. And it is topped by pimento cheese, pickled jalapenos, and a drizzle of honey on a toasted bun. Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento cheese sandwich. In or out?
Nobody does fast food chicken like Chick-fil-A does fast food chicken. It's always different than the others, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but I've never had a bad meal from Chick-fil-A, so I'll be in.
You know, when I posted this on social media, people love it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
They're really fired up about this particular product. I've never had it. I don't really know if I really want cheese on a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that is a bit weird.
But, chicken parm, so I trust the brand. Okay, I trust the brand, so I'm going to be in on this. I'll be in on this. This next gut reaction item could have actually gone into food or beverage, but for today, we're going to put it in gut reaction.
Because we're hungry.
Yeah, we're hungry. Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey, will hit theaters on July 17th, accompanied by a collectible popcorn bucket shaped like a Trojan horse. According to the movie's official X account, it shared a video of the souvenir showing a horse rearing on its hind legs with a popcorn compartment inside the body. Details on which theaters will sell it have not been released yet. A collectible popcorn bucket shaped like a Trojan horse. In or out?
Man, I like how this trend started with, the Dune popcorn bucket, and now it's just sort of exploded in recent years. I don't have much ill will towards a popcorn bucket, but I know that I'm not going to enjoy the movie. That's just a personal thing, but I think I'll be out.
It's going to be out. I have not been in on any of these popcorn bucket things, but we just did a chicken bucket thing a couple of days ago from KFC. I like the movie. I think I like the movie. I'm going to go see it. But I can't see myself doing this. I got to be slightly out. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. David Harbour, one of the stars of Stranger Things, he just revealed that a false Daily Mail story claiming Millie Bobby Brown filed harassment complaints against him triggered a breakdown. He's bipolar, and he's 51 years old. He told Variety, which alleged that Brown submitted pages and pages of claims before the final season, was untrue. He said the timing was weird as it came shortly after his ex, Lily Allen's critical album release. David Harbour, in or out? Hellboy, in or out?
These guys have been doing Stranger Things for years now, and so that sort of builds up this sort of like family unit sort of on the set. So I'm not surprised he had this kind of reaction to that kind of news. So I like him. I like his work. I'll be in.
You know what? You touched on something there that it's kind of amazing, that this whole gang of Stranger Things people have been together for 9 or 10 years.
Yeah,
right?
It's been a long time.
It's really been a long run. Yeah, I'm in on him as well. David Harbour, I'll be in on him. All right, we'll take a break for local news here at the bottom of the hour. When we come back, we'll go to Omaha and check in on what was up today with the old Gold and Blue baseball team. And a little bit later on, before we hit the top of the hour, we'll hear some of their media availability. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi there. Drought monitor released today shows ongoing moderate to severe drought, especially in central and southern West Virginia. This map does not take into account any rain that falls after Tuesday mornings. I'm hopeful we'll see some improvement carry into the next report, but nevertheless, Charleston is still behind average year-to-date precipitation by over 6 inches. A corridor of a ½ inch or more expected generally near and east of I-79. So we could see some locally higher amounts, some heavy rain and flash flooding, as well as some damaging winds and large hail for our Thursday afternoon and evening, then again on Friday. So playing through this evening, lines of storms moving to the southeast. By midnight, we should see things clearing out. Then Friday, redevelopment in the late morning through the afternoon and evening ahead of a cold front, behind that front clearing out for our weekend. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. A lot of heat and humidity still fueling some storms depending on where you're traveling to. You'll notice Chicago, more comfortable on Sunday with a high of 74 there. Panhandle forecast, we will see the warmest night still ahead of us for tonight, with temperatures still bottoming out around 73 for Moundsville, a high of 85 here Friday. So a bit cooler behind this front, but that's something we'll see gradually. Still some low 70s for lows to the east and highs in the 90s for spots that don't see the front quite as quickly on Friday. Meanwhile, Elkin 68 tonight. We'll look to Ripley for 72, mid-80s here generally on Friday. We'll see even some typical cooler spots maintain some mild conditions overnight. Lewisburg 64, Charleston 72, then highs in mid to upper 80s Friday. But we will see some cooler overnight periods in the 60s soon. Highs in the 80s over the weekend, 70s next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The 2026 High School Baseball State Championship. 4 classes, 4 champions, 1 unforgettable day. From first pitch to final out, the 2026 West Virginia High School Baseball State Championship, presented by Toyota, Saturday, June 13th. Watch live on Metro News Television, Facebook, and YouTube. Available on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNews.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 till the hour. Metro News Hotline here until 6 o'clock. A little bit later on, before we hit the top of the hour, we will hear some of the media availability that WVU's baseball coach and a pair of players had in Omaha in anticipation of its College World Series opener tomorrow afternoon against the Troy Trojans. And let's go out to Omaha, where Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, is standing by. He's embedded with the team. By the way, also want to mention that this Metro News update from Omaha is brought to you by Jared Construction. Right on time, right on budget. Call Jared Construction. License number WV030133. Salute. All right. How you doing out there, Kevin? What's going on?
Doing just fine, Dave. Definitely a lot more vibe than what I was expecting the day before the tournament. Practice was open today. Weren't a whole lot of people in watching it, but, man, the baseball village right next to the ballpark, the bars and restaurants right around it, they are already jumping. There is West Virginia fans' favorite song blaring out of a couple of bars. The merchandise is flying off the shelves. It is a definite party scene.
Yeah, let me tell me a little bit about the merch. What's available?
Man, the NCAA has done it really good. A lot of different varieties of shirts, pullovers, just about anything that you'd want. Bats, pins, hats, and then when you get deeper in, there are a bunch of independent gear places that have a lot of different baseball things for sale. Customizing their own bats. Saw something with an Ellie De La Cruz set of gear. Okay. Yeah, gloves, sleeves, sliding mitts. I mean, you name it. If you use it in baseball, it's out here for sale.
Hey, I got to ask you, the trip from Charleston to Omaha is about 900 miles and change. Have you seen anybody or heard any stories about anybody who's been making the drive?
Absolutely. Actually, just talked to somebody. A friend of mine, Matty Sunday, who is a photographer and also, has shot some. I think he came out as much as a fan as to work this one. He just completed the drive, said had no problem.
Nice.
Just cruised out, and it was a good trip.
It's funny though, when you go to Omaha, man, when you hit that Iowa border, you're thinking, "Hey, I'm almost there." Not really. You got to transverse the entire state to get on the other side. But hey, how's the weather? There's always been so much talk about how hot it is, how humid it is for the College World Series. What's the situation with that?
Today it's perfect. There was a thunderstorm maybe 5 o'clock this morning or something, rolled through quickly. It's a little warm, but the wind is blowing. It is not oppressively hot, and supposed to be even a little bit nicer tomorrow. I know, like you said, there have been some games and some weeks out here that it's been blazing, but it looks really good, at least for the first couple of days.
The press availability took about 30 minutes today, and you got the first question in from Steve Sabins, and he noted that since you asked it kind of felt like back home. There really wasn't too many things revealed, though, from the coach today. No, definitely not. These tend to be more, getting the national media and media from other teams caught up on what your team is about, what your team's like. And, we have heard some of that. So one of the things I was interested in, how are the players dealing with it? Because it's definitely a lot more media. They started hitting it like at 7:30 this morning with their team photo and just going straight on through there until they left for another site for some more practice. So, I was interested with that. Steve admitted that, that's a little bit of a challenge. You got to talk to him about him. You got to make sure, yes, we're going to do these things, enjoy it, but in the end, here to play baseball. Let me ask you this. In terms of how the schedule is laid out, Did the teams that are scheduled to play tomorrow, were they the only teams that got to work out today, or was there a workout time for every one of the 8 teams remaining?
It was all 8 teams. Each team had 50 minutes on the field, and then a lot of them, including West Virginia, went elsewhere to work some more, get in some more swings, do whatever the coaches wanted them to focus on heading into it. But no, today was the one day of practice before the tournament that everybody got, and from here on out, it's all games on the field.
All right, so what do you think? There was not a lot of discussion, at least from the West Virginia point of view, about how the pitching's going to set up this week. But since Chanson Cole was one of the 2 available players, are we to assume that he's going to start tomorrow afternoon's game?
That is the report that we've gotten, that Chanson Cole will be starting tomorrow. Gives Maxiel an extra day of rest, keeps him on his 7-day, rotation. So, and there's so many different things that go into that Steve Stevens has talked about in the past. Who matches up better? Is it lefties versus righties, predominantly? A lot of different things. How do they think their pitches are going to go against how, what team they're playing, what they tend to swing well against. But, Chanson Cole has been pitching really well. When he keeps the ball down in the zone, you get a lot of people rolling over. He's, tough. If he leaves one up in the zone, you got a chance for a home run. But that's one other thing. We've learned this ballpark is not a big home run site. The wind tends to blow in most days. It is a big, spacious outfield. So that might work in West Virginia's favor a little bit too, and perhaps for Cole.
So when West Virginia had their press availability today, where was that time-wise in relation to when Troy met the media?
It was right before it.
Okay.
West Virginia and Troy were the first 2 teams. The interview and practice lineups went right through the way the schedule for the actual games are laid out the next 2 games. So West Virginia and Troy, first 2 out of the gate today, first 2 on the field tomorrow.
Just monitoring it today, it seemed like there were West Virginia specific members of the media that were there on hand, including yourself. But there also seemed to be like a lot of general, just college baseball reporters as well. Was it packed, or how many people attended the presser?
There were probably 40 or so in there, and granted, there's a few team people in there that are getting stuff. But, yeah, there is national buzz, which we saw over the last 2 weeks this was built, and some national outlets here. D1 baseball, obviously, perfect game. This is the culmination of the season. They've seen that story. They understand this is an important moment for the West Virginia program, and not necessarily that they've got to win a bunch of games, but, hey, to keep building on what we saw over the last 2 weeks.
Hey, I got to ask you this. I know you're obviously focused on baseball with this West Virginia's trip, first ever to the College World Series in Omaha. But did you see this release today, the Big 12 rolling out the opponents, the conference games for men's basketball?
Yes, and, seems fair.
Yeah.
You've got close teams. You've got teams that you've got a history with. And, I don't feel like it's overloaded in any way. I didn't, break it down and throw records to it and anything like that. That's, going to be for another day for sure after we get back from Omaha. But, I didn't see anything that really, smacked you and made me think, hey, that's unfair.
All right, here's the way it laid out. So this is just the conference schedule for the Big 12 and men's basketball. So the home and homes for West Virginia in the Big 12 this year are going to be Cincinnati, Iowa State, and UCF. Now, obviously, Iowa State had a great run in the tournament, and they were nationally ranked, as were many teams in the Big 12 for the majority of last season. Here are the home dates against opponents from the Big 12 where there will not be a return game away next season. So additional home games in the Big 12. Arizona, Arizona State, Houston, K-State, Oklahoma State, and TCU. And right off the top, looking at that, I mean, how about the fact that West Virginia gets Arizona at home and they get Houston at home and they don't have to go visit those teams on the road? I see that as really big.
Well, that's definitely nice. Definitely deserve Houston coming in because it didn't seem like WVU could ever get them at home. But you still got to go to Kansas.
Yeah.
You still got to go to Baylor. There's always the plus and minus there. And the other interesting thing is, they put this schedule together with, consultation with their experts and coach votes and whatever, but how do you really know how good those other teams are? You might end up with a great home schedule or a great schedule altogether because some of the teams that you play twice aren't great, and so you got a chance to get an extra win. Or they might turn out to be really good, and suddenly you've got a death march. So, it's still a little bit of a guess, but some interesting things here way before the season starts.
All right. Well, listen, I'll let you go. Thanks for jumping on with us. The game's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll be talking again soon.
Sounds good. You can check out all our coverage at bluegoldnews.com.
Kevin Kinder, bluegoldnews.com. Thanks, Kevin. Just to reiterate, so the Big 12 has announced the scheduling for the men's basketball season in terms of conference games. Once again, the teams that WV will be playing home and away this year: Cincinnati, Iowa State, UCF. 3 good teams. Here are the additional home games that West Virginia will play that will not feature a return game on the road: Arizona, Arizona State, Houston, K-State, Oklahoma State, and TCU. Obviously, some really difficult teams there that you get at home. Now, conversely, here are the games that West Virginia will play in conference on the road only. They'll go to Waco to play Baylor, BYU, Colorado, Kansas. They're kind of unfortunate there's no KU game at WVU this year. That's the way it goes. So Kansas on the road, Texas Tech, and Utah. That was released earlier this afternoon. All right, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we were talking about that media availability. We'll hear some of the opening remarks from West Virginia's head coach and a couple of players if we have time. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Chris Waddell, Principal and Office Lead for Martinsburg for CEC. After serving in the military, I found my home in Martinsburg. Traveling across the states, I've always wanted to serve my community. At CEC, I get to do just that. Our core values, clients first and we own it, resonate with my mission-driven background. We solve problems by listening and collaborating, and as an employee-owned firm, we take pride in every project that we do. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
As West Virginia takes their shot at glory in Omaha and captures the nation's attention, West Virginia businesses are building for the future. When it's time for a new medical facility, hospital expansion, historic renovation, auto dealership, apartment complex, sports complex, or church addition, trust the team that's been helping build West Virginia for more than 25 years. Jarrett Construction delivers design build, construction management, and general contracting services throughout the state of West Virginia. Visit jarrett-construction.com today. WV030133.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? JW Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Five, 3, all the sports West Virginia is talking about.
Nikki Izzo-Brown, coach of the nationally ranked WVU women's soccer team.
I think they're just having a very good understanding of each other.
Join Kyle Wiggs, Brett Howe, and Coach Hunter weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back. Man, there is so much stuff going on. The state high school baseball tournament continues in Huntington. And we now have the final set up in Class A after semifinal action earlier today. Gilmer County knocked out the number 1 seed, Huntington St. Joe's, 8-4, and Sherman blanked Pocahontas County 3-0. So those two teams that survived today, Gilmer County and Sherman, will meet in the Class Single A championship game. That will be Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. The AA quarterfinals are going on right now, and in the we'll have the AAA and the Quad A quarterfinals tomorrow. Right now, you've got the game going on between Wheeling Central and Logan. Frankfort and Independence will battle it out 50 minutes after the completion of that. World Cup got going today, and in Guadalajara, Mexico was a winner over South Africa, 2-0. South Africa finished this game with 3 red cards and only 9 players on the field. South Korea and Czechia, that's the Czech Republic, they will play tonight in Guadalajara. They'll get that match underway at 10 o'clock. All right, so earlier today, the WVU baseball team had a media availability before their game tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern against the Troy Trojans. Steve Sabins was there, the head coach, the pitcher Chanson Cole, and slugger Gavin Kelly. Let's hear Sabins' opening statement, and maybe we'll have time for a couple of questions.
Just super excited for this group of kids. They've worked so hard and sacrificed so much to be here. It's really important for this state and the university and our community. So to be able to do something as a unified group and represent our state is really important to us. And these kids have been right in the middle to my left. So just happy to be here, ready to compete. Trying to keep the guys focused on what's important. That's just preparation of these games coming up.
We'll now open it to questions for the student athletes.
Kevin Kendra, Blue and Gold News. Coach Sabins, a little bit of a different day before routine for you. I know you all are big on that. What is the biggest adjustment in shorter on field? Obviously a lot more media. And did you have an idea of what this would be like going into today?
It's just like right back in Morgantown. Kevin's asking me questions in the team theater, man. It's beautiful. Yeah, I think we had an idea. I've been really lucky to have so many friends in the coaching business that have been great at their jobs and taken teams to Omaha and did wonderful things. And so they shared a lot of insight of kind of what this was going to look like. We've tried to just schedule out everything humanly possible for the kids so they can concentrate on showing up with good energy and executing what's in front of them. We certainly are a very process-oriented team, and I think that's when we play our best, when we kind of keep to that process. The biggest thing I think in these kind of scenarios is just for young guys that are excited to be here and want to play great is sometimes you do have to say no in these kind of situations, because there's always more that you could do. There's always more interviews, there's more excitement, there's more social medias, there's always more. And so for them, I think as you get a little bit older and you get a little bit more comfortable, you can be really kind while saying no in some of these situations. So just talking to the team a little bit about that, because they've worked so hard for this opportunity in front of them that it's their opportunity. It's okay to be selfish in some of these situations because it's theirs. They've worked so hard and done so much to do this. So they need to concentrate on seizing an opportunity in front of them, because these opportunities are tough to come by.
Mark Ireland, Just Baseball Media. Coach, how's it feel just here to have so much support from the community and just fully diving into making West Virginia a baseball school? And do you expect them to show up here in Omaha big for you guys?
There's zero doubt that Mountaineer Nation will be in full force here in Omaha. I think damn near every politician and representation from the athletic department and fan and supporter and alumni will be here. That's one of the most special things about West Virginia, is that there's a deep passion for the university. And so it's been a blast just saying, yeah, we got to get a couple rooms for the governor and the senator and everybody else. But they've been along for the ride. A lot of these folks aren't like new to the program, where it's like all of a sudden you get to Omaha and you hear a lot of new names. There's a lot of these folks, and that's what makes it so unique to West Virginia, is that there's no pro sports teams and there's no other major university in that state. And so we really are the main show. And so we just have an unusual amount of support for a smaller state.
All right, there you go. That is Steve Sabins, WVU's baseball coach from earlier today. A media availability in preparation for West Virginia's game against the Troy Trojans in the College Baseball World Series tomorrow. The Reds are off today. They will be back home tomorrow night to open up a weekend set against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Pirates are in action tonight after that dramatic comeback from trailing 6-1 to the Dodgers late, winning 9-8 last night. They'll take on the Dodgers tonight in the rubber game of that 3-game set. And the Dirty Birds are at home tonight here in Charleston. They'll be hosting High Point as that series continues. We'll take a break and we'll wrap it up for the day in just a moment.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead. in the ways that truly matter.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows for Talk Line on Metro News Television. Sports Line on Metro News Television.
I was sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? Sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another grand on them tomorrow.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the show today. We thank you so much for listening, sending your answers to our question of the day and more. Stay tuned for the news at the top of the hour. Sports Line, live from Omaha, is coming up next. My name's Dave Weekley. I'll talk to you tomorrow, beginning at 3:06, right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the Metro News Network is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this Metro News station or WVMetroNews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline.